Sign in from Douluo Chapter 21, 100 Treasure Glazed Tile Pagoda Spirit. Can you try it? Wang Xiao didn't care about the girl in the red short skirt. Instead, he planned to try the dark dagger in the hands of the fatty stall owner to see if it looks like what he said was amazing. Of course, Fatty's stall owner said with a smile happily. I gave him the dagger immediately and found a piece of scrap metal from the counter for him. Little brother, if the dagger can't cut this iron rod in two, I'll get a point for this dagger. No money I will give you free and I will pay you 10 gold coins. Wang Xiao smiled and said nothing, but since the stall owner dared to make this kind of bloody bet, it means that it will not be too fake. He also took the dagger in one hand and the iron rod in the other, and then went down an inch above the head of the iron rod. There was no sound, the blade slashed through the inside of the iron rod, and then with a sound the iron rod about 1 inch fell to the ground, making a metal crash. When the voice came out, Wang Xiao's eyes lit up, and the girl in the red short skirt looked on coldly, her face calm. She simply didn't look at it. For her, this thing has been seen a lot, so she doesn't think it is rare. For a soul master, the most powerful thing is not the weapon, but the power of spirit and spirit power. These external weapons are just icing on the cake. So soul masters don't value these external weapons very much. They have always been dispensable. Douluo continent soul masters, they care about these kinds of spirit most. Good spirits have spirit power, and then they have spirit ring that can strengthen their own strength. Then they produce attacks and assists. The defensive spirit ability and then spirit bone increase defense, speed, strength, wisdom, upgrades, and other abilities. There are also some mysterious bloodline inheritance. Of course, this inheritance needs to have a matching body and bloodline in order to merge with each other. Otherwise, they will resist each other and side effects will occur. There is no need to take this terrible danger. If there is a solution, it is not impossible. After all, there are not many such things. Wang Xiao tried a few more times. It still cuts the iron like mud. The dagger has already cut an iron rod almost, and there is no notch on the blade. This is enough to prove the knife. The quality is definitely leveraged. Much is it. Wang Xiao wanted to buy it, so he had to ask the price before buying. He is not too rich now, he can't afford it if he is expensive, and he won't buy it. The fatty stall owner smiled slyly. Not many 10 gold coins, can't be bought at a loss, can't be fooled. Okay, just sell it to others. Wang Xiao didn't give the stall owner a chance to bargain at all and turned around and left. Hello, how about 8? The stall owner asked hurriedly. Wang Xiao glanced back and stretched out a hand. Up to 5. Stall owner shook his head immediately. Wang Xiao didn't say more and went to other booths. Fatty was about to go to another booth when he saw that he had no intention of looking back, so he gritted his teeth and chased him up. 5 is 5, the deal. Wang Xiao didn't say much, took 5 gold coins to the stall owner, took the dagger and put it in 24 moonlit bridges, then walked to the gate of the hunting forest, planning to do business. I saw the girl in the red short skirt and immediately followed along, wanting to fish in troubled waters to follow in. But Wang Xiao, who was walking in the front, immediately noticed him and turned around and said to her, 99 gold coins, one must not be less, otherwise it will be useless for you to follow me. Wait until the soldiers pass the inspection. At that time I only need a word, those guards can drive you out. Girl in the red short skirt gritted her teeth a little hesitant and said to her heart that she only had 100 gold coins left on her body. Okay. Give him 99, then I only have 1 left, how can I spend it in the future? Wang Xiao wasn't greedy for the gold coin on her, but simply didn't want to take her, so she deliberately shouted such a high price but also let her give up on her own. The girl in the red short skirt was hesitating. Wang Xiao had already walked to the door. Seeing that the opportunity was about to be missed, she stomped her foot and immediately pulled him aside. It's not just a few gold coins, elder sister gave it. I immediately took it to her waist and a swollen gold purse appeared in her hand. Then she opened it and took one out and held it in her hand. They were handed to him, 99, no more no less. Wang Xiao was also a little surprised. This girl really took out 99 gold coins, it's impossible to agree to take her in. What's more, these 99 gold coins are enough to buy her safety. Okay, I weighed in the amount of money bags almost. Not counted, directly loaded into 24 moonlit bridges. Ah, the girl in the red short skirt got her wish, sticking out her tongue at him, expressing her dissatisfaction. Then he grabbed Wang Xiao's hand tightly, fearing that he would not be honest, and he sneaked away by himself, left himself, accompanied by a large sum of money, spitting. What was the end? Did not fish. Wang Xiao saw her and was unable to complain. He had to be one big and one small and approached the gate of the hunting soul forest. As soon as the two arrived at the door, they were stopped by a row of hundreds of soldiers wearing armor and holding pike weapons in front of the door. A tall soldier commander in front of the guard asked solemnly, "Do you have a token? You are not allowed to enter, leave quickly, otherwise the military law will deal with it." Of course there is, why didn't I take advantage of this excitement? Wang Xiao angrily took out the third-class token given by Xiaogeng and raised it up high for the captain of the soldier guard to see. The head soldier guard met and took a look at the guard on the right. He immediately stepped aside and let everyone behind him get out of the way and then said to Wang Xiao, Master, I'm so sorry, just now it's because we have no eyes and offend you. Wang Zio waved his hand quickly. It's okay if you don't know it. Many thanks, Master, forgive me. The soldier guard gave a salute and immediately waved to the soldier guard at the door to open the door. Wang Zio took this time to glance inside the hunting forest, and saw that the huge metal steel fence outside the forest was more than 10 meters high, and the entire hunting forest was surrounded by unattainable heights. The huge steel gate is even more dangerous, and it really looks very magnificent. Two soldiers guarding immediately opened the door, and the chief soldier guard immediately stepped forward and said, "Two, please." Wang Zio didn't say much. He went to the door and he walked, and then there was a pang sound behind him and the door was closed again. He looked back and couldn't see the scenery on the other side of the door. Hurrying back, what greeted me was the natural atmosphere of the big forest. Well, not bad, the hunting forest is a hunting forest in the end. The scenery is very beautiful, and it also has a rotten smell and blood and murderous aura. Wang Zio muttered to himself, raising his head. Go to the depths of the hunting soul forest. The girl in the red short skirt did not separate from him but also followed. Ding. Zio successfully signed in the hunting forest. Reward, 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda spirit. It will arrive later. Sign in system suddenly prompted. Chapter 22. 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda. Wang Zio feels that this spirit has nothing to do with 7 treasure glazed tile pagoda spirit of 7 treasure glazed tile school. I only have Qibao and I am 100 treasures, so the level is much higher. Even if Ening Rongrong mutates into 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda, it is not as good as my own treasure. Wang Zio is a bit funny, suddenly feels that his spirit seems a bit too much, the first 4 plus this but 5, that is the 5 life spirit. In Douluo continent, the spirit currently known as only twin spirits, and from the 4-born spirit to the current 5-born spirit he can take anyone out and they are all able to leverage. Take the bloodvein spirit as an example. On the surface it doesn't look great, but it's actually very powerful. At this moment a blue emitting thing dropped from the sky, hitting Wang Zio's head, just hitting his head. He didn't hide and was hit directly. It was not just a tower-shaped thing. My heart said this should be the 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda from system. As soon as this thing touched his head, it sank into the body and sank to the place of Danshan. Wang Zio may be due to the 7 apertures exquisite heart, since his eyes have the function of inward vision. He can see clearly the 5 spirits floating inside of Danshan. The bloodvein spirit floats in the middle of the Danshan, and the 12-winged fallen angel spirit and 12-winged holy angel spirit hug the bloodvein spirit and lie down to sleep. Thunder hammer spirit and 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda are floating motionless around bloodvein spirit. This seems to be quite regular. The bloodvein spirit occupies the middle position of the Danshan, which means that with it as the center point, other spirits can only stand aside. In this way my plant-based spirit may be my main spirit and the others are supporting roles. Hey, what's your name? The girl in the red short skirt followed him several hundred jang far away, but she couldn't help but approached and asked when he didn't say a word. Hearing this, Wang Zio found out that there was a person behind him. He turned around and glanced around before remembering her. He was too absorbed in thinking about things just now, since he has forgot the little girl. Wang Zio, you can also call me Brother Zio. Wang Zio, my name is Zioyan. I am small with a beautiful color. You can call me Sister Yan. The girl in the red short skirt immediately self-introduced. Zioyan, why are you still following me? We form a team who will not follow you. No, I didn't tell you to form a team. Wang Zio said without admitting that he was beat to death. Zioyan said, HMPH, no, you have collected 99 gold coins from me. You have to form this team and you have to form it if you don't. Whiz. This moment there were a few unusual movements in the surrounding woods which immediately frightened the two of them. Assaults the senses, the air seems to be dead and murderous looking at this moment. Spirit beast is approaching us. Zio Yan became vigilant first, leaning his back against his back. Wang Zio laughed. Zin said that Spirit Beast is not a big deal to him, so he is just a little scared. But the first time I faced Spirit Beast I was quite nervous. To this classmate Zioyan, she looked like fearing nothing in heaven or earth just now. When he arrived in the hunting forest he suddenly became a frightened bird, and his temperament changed drastically. It seems that her heart is not as strong as it seems on the surface. Bang 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 this time. A long object flew out from a towering tree a few 10 jang away, and was heading towards the sky with lightning speed. People flapped their wings and flew. It is a 6-winged jade centipede so big at least 10 years or more. Spirit Beast. Zioyan recognized this monster at a glance and called out his name. My 9-leaf red lotus spirit only has auxiliary and has no attack power. What is your spirit? If it is beast spirit or tool spirit, then the two of us will be able to defeat it by joining forces. Zioyan, while dodging, he said to him. Wang Zio said with a calm face, you don't need to know this. Anyway, I said don't team up with you. In a short while Zioyan will chased by this 6-winged jade centipede spirit beast. There is nowhere to hide. Where its 3 pairs of wings go, like 6 sharp blades, they cut all the woods around them, cut into pieces and fell to the ground, making the boss's movement. Zioyan is already exhausted. Seeing that there is nowhere to hide, she is about to be caught up by the spirit beast of the six-winged jade centipede. Those broken logs are still a bit miserable. Seeing Wang Xiao standing still motionless again, I felt angry and said to my heart, this guy doesn't help her hide, what's the matter? Is it frightened? This time I'm over. I knew that this Wang Xiao was so useless. Just now he stayed outside for another 10 days and 10 nights. He didn't team up with him and fell to his death. HMPH, since you are unkind, don't blame me for being unrighteous. You, this six-winged jade centipede spirit beast is also too annoying. There is someone standing there motionless. You won't bite him. If you chase after me, will you only bully the girl? Grab the soft persimmon, bully the soft and fear the hard. Xiaoyan ran away while complaining that spirit beast was bullying herself. Well, this six-winged jade centipede spirit beast happens to be an 11-year spirit beast, which meets the spirit ring draw of a 10th level spirit master. Wang Xiao stared at the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast. Over the past few days, he has read many books about the introduction of the Douluo continent spirit beast at the Wuhun City primary level Soul Master Academy. Actually, there is a paragraph above about the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast. The number of years is calculated by length when observing its appearance. 1 meter is equal to 1 year, and this six-winged jade centipede spirit beast is exactly about 10 to 11 meters. It has been a spirit beast for more than 10 years, so it can absorb the spirit ring, and it also meets own level. Plus they are flying spirit beast. It must be similar to their own 12-winged holy angel spirit and 12-winged fallen angel spirit attributes, and they should be able to match successfully. Of course, this is not unexpected. According to Yu Xiaoging's 10-core competitiveness in the spirit world, beast spirit does not necessarily only absorb the spirit ring of beast spirit, and plant spirit does not necessarily only absorb the spirit ring of the plant. It can also absorb each other and use each other to achieve the height that others do not have. Of course, someone has to dare to try first. Wang Xiao has seen the plot of Douluo continent, so Yu Xiaoging's theory of one of the 10-core competitiveness has a certain success rate. After all, the later Tang San listened to Yu Xiaoging's words and absorbed the beast spirit ring of Datura snake and matched the plant spirit blue silver grass successfully and gained a lot of benefits. Wang Xiao, based on Yu Xiaoging's theoretical analysis of one of the 10 core competences in the spirit industry, it is not 100% that it can match successfully. From the perspective of blue-silver grass spirit matching Datura snake spirit, it is indeed more appropriate. Apart from the different varieties, the two are actually very similar in other aspects. For example, the body of the mandala itself is also long. The second is its toughness, which is actually very similar to the softness of blue-silver grass tenacious. Compare these kinds of similarities, and the matching probability will be greatly improved. This may be the success of Tang San, so Wang Xiao feels that the spirit ring of the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast is more similar to his own 12-winged angel spirit. The match should be more perfect and successful, therefore it can only be used to match the 12-winged angel spirit. As its spirit ring, it is more probable. Chapter 23. 23 There are danger lurks on every side in the soul-hunting forest. There are attacks from spirit beast and competitions between soul masters. Find a good spirit ring. For now, these theories are just Wang Xiao's own thoughts. Can the 10-year spirit ring of the six-winged jade centipede be compatible with 12-winged fallen angel spirit? It's hard to say that the match is successful. After all, Xiaoging's theory of one of the 10 core competences in the spirit industry is just a theory, not a practical report, nor a deterministic thing. It is still necessary for the soul masters to try to get the result. And risk are equally divided, achieve the Tao and ascend to heaven without breaking into a body to die or being disabled for life. In the original book, the master asked Tang San to try it himself, so he was not sure that he was 100% successful. Wang Xiao is not afraid. He has the powerful 7 apertures exquisite heart as the backing, so there should be no surprises. Seeing that Xiaoyan could not hold it anymore, she was running towards her. Wang Xiao has to make a move. I immediately used the surging waves subtle steps accelerated version of lightweight art and came to behind the six-winged jade centipede in a flash, then jumped into the air. A carp struck up, using trace bewildering fist. The upgraded version punched it hard on the head. Wang Xiao, this fist is so powerful that it made the six-winged jade centipede lose weight and hit the ground directly, falling and rolling, hitting the surrounding branches and falling to the ground. Xiaoyan was startled, not knowing what was going on. He immediately turned his head and saw a startling glance. This six-winged jade centipede spirit beast which was chasing after him fell to the ground for some reason and was still injured. Light looked back at Wang Xiao again. I don't know when the other person has disappeared in the same place. My heart said, this person is really timid like a mouse. I thought he was standing there just now and he was very courageous. Looks like I ran here to see me, and when I was right. Even the shadows of the people who ran were gone. I was really a guy who couldn't help but die, cold-blooded, relentless. Ka zai zai zai. This time Zioin heard the six wings behind Yu Centipede's screams, and she hurriedly looked back, and now she has an even more astonishing sight. I saw a boy kneeling on one knee holding a dagger and a knife that had been pierced into the head of the six-winged jade centipede. The action was so handsome. I can see clearly that the boy is not someone else, it is Wang Zio. Since his movements are so fast, he hunted down a 10-year spirit beast in the blink of an eye, which was beyond her imagination. Force, when Wang Zio pulled out the dagger from the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast, a white halo emerged from its body and hovered above its head. Magical, this makes Wang Zio's eyes bright. As a transmigrator, this is the first time I see what a spirit ring of a spirit beast looks like. It's really beautiful. As far as he knows, every color of the spirit ring represents the age of spirit beast. Like the white spirit ring, it is about 10 years old. Only when it reaches the 100-year spirit beast level, the spirit ring is yellow. In other words, this six-winged jade centipede spirit beast is more than 10 years old and has a level equivalent to Soul Master level 11 and can be absorbed by itself. Wow, Wang Zio, you're too good. Seeing him so good, Zio Yan immediately came over to shoot flattery. Should I be called Brother Zio? Wang Zio corrected. Why are you so much younger than me? Zio Yan said unwillingly. Wang Zio said, Zio Yan, I found you are more elm head than elm head. Don't you know that this world powerhouse is respected? There are many great grandpa grandma and I met those soul masters. I have to respectfully call master, how much older are you than me? If you are not convinced, let's fight each other and see who is better than whom. HMPH. Zioin immediately twitched his lips and said, people are only healing spirit. How can you compare with your offensive spirit and let me fight you? Needless to say, you must have the upper hand. Oh, but which one of your eyes saw me using spirit? Let's talk about it. I don't have a spirit ring yet. How can I use spirit abilities except for a little spirit power? Where can I use spirit abilities? Yes, he doesn't even have a spirit ring. Where is the spirit ability available? Relying on his spirit power, he should not be able to beat the centipede spirit beast, which has been indestructible for 10 years. And I just looked at it, and I didn't see him release his spirit. Could it be that his spirit is hidden? Yu Xiaoging said in the original book that if spirit beast's spirit ring is not absorbed immediately after it comes out, it will automatically disperse within an hour. Just work. It's a pity that this is beast spirit and it doesn't match my Ju Honglian spirit simply. If your spirit is beast spirit or tool spirit, you can just absorb it. After a sigh, Zioyan turned towards him. Sideway, although Zioyan's theory is completely out of the new theoretical framework of Yu Xiaoging's 10-core competitiveness in spirit, but what I have to say is that this six-winged jade centipede spirit beast is really not suitable for her 9-leaf red lotus spirit. And this spirit beast was not the last to make up for it, and it was even harder to absorb it. Furthermore, Wang Zio is also impossible to let her absorb and immediately sit down in front of the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast and turn back to Zioyan and said, you help me protect the law and I can help you besiege behind. How about a 100-year-old spirit beast as your spirit ring? A 100-year-old spirit beast? Zioyan didn't believe it. What she heard was true. Brother Zio, don't you lie me, the spirit ring of spirit beast of the century is good, but it's not as good as the spirit beast of 10 years. Maybe even the small lives we both have to get in. Although she is only 12 years old, she also knows that for a soul master, it is very important to absorb the first spirit ring. Wang Zio didn't bother with her, and immediately meditated in front of the six-winged jade centipede spirit beast. Then he stretched out his right hand. In his opinion, this six-winged jade centipede was toxic, and it matched the 12-winged fallen angel spirit, and he planned to absorb its spirit ring into this spirit, immediately drive his own spirit power and release the spirit. After a while, the 12-winged fallen angel spirit appeared in his palm and slowly grew out. Its dark body, 6 pairs of pitch black as ink wings, the whole exudes death aura, and even Wang Zio himself feels the depressive atmosphere it brings. I feel that my spirit is a bit different, even terrifying. Different from another 12-winged holy angel spirit, its appearance can make you feel warm and bright. And this 12-winged fallen angel spirit is the opposite. What it shows is cold, dark, and terrifying. Wang Zio is not afraid. Since the system allows them to exist in his body and become his own spirit, there should be a necessity for their existence, so there is no need to worry about whether they are safe or not. Zioyan also consciously stepped aside and did not interrupt him to absorb spirit, and also took the initiative to take the responsibility of protecting him. Come on. You will be my first spirit ring. Wang Zio started to meditate, pulling the 10-year spirit ring to absorb it into the 12-winged fallen angel spirit, but after a while he did not succeed. The 6-winged jade centipede spirit ring was not drawn by it, but circled around his body. What is going on here? Wang Zio immediately opened his eyes to check. Spirit ring simply didn't dare to get close to him, but went round and round around him as if he was afraid of himself. Could it be said that this spirit ring simply cannot match the 12-winged fallen angel spirit? Well, it is indeed the same thing then. Which spirit can it match? I have a total of 5 spirits. Which spirit is it suitable for? Wang Zio immediately thought about it and said to his heart, is it 12-winged holy angel spirit, thunder hammer spirit, 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda spirit, or bloodvine spirit? Chapter 24. 24 The 12-winged fallen angel spirit could not absorb this 10-year spirit ring. It was beyond Wang Zio's expectation, but he had already prepared for it. Wang Zio didn't think too much about it. If this doesn't work, then switch to a spirit. Anyway, I have 5 spirits, don't be afraid, there is always one suitable. Wang Zio immediately takes back the 12-winged fallen angel spirit and releases the 12-winged holy angel spirit. As a result, the match is still unsuccessful. He shook his head, unable to do anything, and released the next 100 treasure glazed tile pagoda spirit, but it didn't work. Thunder hammer spirit was released again, but the match was still unsuccessful. In the end, there's only one spirit left to try, which is the plant-based bloodvine spirit. Wang Zio said in his heart, if this last spirit still fails to match, then there will be no way. It shows that the spirit ring of the centipede spirit beast of 6-winged jade for 10 years is not suitable for these spirits, so I can only look for the next spirit beast spirit ring. He intends to make the last fight, hoping that this last spirit can match this 10-year spirit ring successfully. Wang Zio finally released the bloodvine spirit. When the plant-shaped strip of spirit stands in the palm of the hand, it emits a layer of red haze which is very charming. Now this bloodvine spirit is much brighter than it was when it just awakened, and the blood mist it emits is stronger and stronger. Wang Zio Xin said that if he absorbs the spirit ring for 10 years, it may grow better. Regardless of its length, toughness, and the toxicity attached to the spirit ring of the 6-winged jade centipede itself, it is enough to enhance its offensive performance. When the bloodvine spirit was released, the 10-year 6-winged jade centipede spirit ring immediately approached Wang Zio's body, and a powerful oppressive force descended from it and enveloped the whole body. Well, good, that's it. Come here, merge with my spirit and become stronger together. Wang Zio quickly retracted and sat down and started to meditate attentively, guiding the spirit ring to the bloodvine spirit. 10 years, the spirit ring began to emit a more dazzling white radiance, and the aperture began to rotate faster, slowly rising to the top of his head and contracting. This powerful oppression force is getting stronger and stronger, making Wang Zio's bloodline spray up and down, and whole body blood boiled, jumping up and down like a river and the sea, constantly impacting his body, as if there is lava gushing from the chest, the constant impact and pressure on the body. The power is domineering to the extreme. Wang Zio clearly felt that his bloodline seemed to be bursting and made a crack-crack sound, scared to have one's hair stand on end, and his palms were sweaty and uncomfortable. I originally thought that in the original book, the 1,000-year spirit ring would be so hard if it only absorbs 100 years. In this case, if it absorbs the spirit ring from a century to 1,000 years, it is not better than death, 9 deaths and still alive or directly exploded and died. Wang Zio shuddered after thinking about it, but the spirit ring has to be accepted. If you don't accept it, you can't upgrade it. No matter how many, no matter how good the spirit ring is, it will be useless. The little face who was sitting on the side of the law protector saw the painful expression on Wang Zio's body after 10 years of spirit ring, and the terrifying scene where the bloodline spurted out all over his skin, making him sucked in a cold breath. She thought that she hadn't absorbed spirit yet. What would happen if it was her turn and whether she could bear it? That was 2 things. In particular, Wang Zio absorbed only a 10-year spirit ring. If it is a century-old spirit ring, it will explode and die. Zioyan has no experience in this area, and it is normal to be worried. Although she is now a level 12 spirit power spirit master, the goal this time is not a 10-year spirit ring but a 100-year spirit ring. In this way, the issue of accepting contracts is considered. Wang Zio felt uncomfortable for a while after passing through the baptism of the spirit ring power. The spirit ring above his head suddenly shrank and fell towards the bloodvine spirit in the right hand, and set it on his body. Suddenly the power was like a wind. The same exploded, bloodvine connected his body, running through the whole body, warm current surging, and then a white spirit ring released from under his body, rotating, radiant. In the stem and leaves of the bloodvine spirit in the hand there are blood-colored whole bodies, which are rising and growing at a rapid speed. It grows 2 stalks from only 1 stalk, and they expand and bind up each other. The leaves also grow up and thicker, and the red light on the body surface is more prosperous. It puts Wang Zio around 10 zhang. The inside shines bright red. It wasn't until the bloodvine spirit had grown to 10 meters long that it stopped growing. Wang Zio was also a little collapsed at this time, so he immediately retracted spirit just in case. He was a little tired, so he fell on the ground and rested. Seeing that Wang Zio has finally succeeded in absorbing this 10-year spirit ring, Zio Yan was a little surprised. He said to his heart that the appearance of brother Zio just now was really cool. She also didn't expect Wang Zio's spirit, which is also plant-based, and after successfully absorbing the spirit ring, it has grown 10 meters long, which is really bright. I also thought of my 9-leaf red lotus spirit. What would it look like if I absorbed a century-old spirit ring? Would it be more domineering? Then there are still millennia, 10,000 years, 100,000 years of spiritual ring absorption. What will happen? At present, the Heaven Dew Empire and the Star Luo Empire have discovered two soul masters who have a 100,000-year-old spirit ring, only a trifling in the past 100 years. One is Bibai Dong under the crown of Supreme Pontiff Palace in Spirit Hall, and the other is Tang Hao under father titled as Clear Sky Douluo in Tang San. Except for Kaiyan Dailiu in Spirit Hall Elder Palace, Bibai Dong and Tang Hao are regarded as one of the very best peak existences in these two Empire Spirit Masters worlds. Wang Xiao took a rest for about 1 hour, then sat up, and then took out a few large sausage from 24 moonlit bridges to replenish his strength, and it happened that he was hungry at this time and filled his stomach. And get the second spirit ring. My words count. I also helped Xiaoying get the first spirit ring, by the way. After receiving 99 gold coins, you still have to be honest. Those spirit masters outside give 1 or 2 gold coins at a time, and they can accompany them to hunt down the spirit beast to get the spirit ring, and their asking price is indeed higher. It's nothing but a penny. Although she collected a lot, she also guaranteed her safety. She made a centuries-old spirit ring for her, and she still earned it. Usually rich, she will never be able to find such a good opportunity. Go Xiaoyan help you find the spirit ring, I said to her, looked towards and walked forward. Xiaoyan was a little flattered. She was dumbfounded and immediately chased up. Brother Xiao, really? Are you really going to help me get a spirit ring? Of course, replied as he walked, although I am already level 12 now. But absorbing a century-old spirit ring, is it too risky for me? I don't think so. Wang Xiao looks like a master. Xiaoyan, the truth of danger lurks within the riches and honor, you should understand. If you don't have a good innate talent, you can only take risks. Seek victory in the middle and go against the current. It is possible to break through your own defense and bottleneck and let yourself get baptism. It is a coincidence that you can break out of the cocoon, gain a new life and reach a higher height. Xiaoyan was nodded as if he said something reasonable. That's okay. 100 years of spirit ring is 100 years of spirit ring. My Xiaoyan will go all out this time. By the way, Xiao, then why didn't the first spirit ring choose a century-old spirit ring? I think your innate talent is not worse than me, but you chose a 10-year spirit ring. Is there anything unspeakable? Wang Xiao did a handsome one action, shook his hair and said, actually you misunderstood. I didn't choose the centennial spirit ring but the first spirit ring that I chose for 10 years. Xiaoyan shook his head. Don't understand, that's it. Next, I will not only absorb a century-old spirit ring but also a 1,000-year spirit ring and even a 10,000-year spirit ring. Xiaoyan was startled. Wanian spirit ring, how is this possible? You, a spirit scholar with 10th level spirit power, still want to absorb the 10,000-year spirit ring? Don't you fear that you will die? As far as I know, a spirit scholar who is only at the 10th level is risky enough to absorb a century-old spirit ring. You have to absorb 1,000 years or even 10,000 years. What do you think? Besides, you can fight for more than 1,000 years, spirit beast for 10,000 years, Wang Xiao smiled. You don't need to know this anyway. Wait a minute, I will let you witness a miracle. HMPH, it sounds nice but I don't believe it anyway. Xiaoyan felt that he was just bossing, so she didn't bother to care about him. Ding Xiao sign in the additional task of the hunting forest this time. Absorb a 100-year spirit ring, a 1,000-year spirit ring, a 10,000-year spirit ring, a 100,000-year spirit ring. Xiao only needs to complete this task. There will be special rewards. Note, it must be completed in this task, otherwise take responsibility for the consequences. The task will be repeated and be punished. Who signed into the system suddenly said, Chapter 25, 100,000 years of spirit ring. I said, system, are you serious? Wang Xiao almost spit out old blood in fright. 100,000 years of spirit ring, what kind of concept is this? He still remembers that in the original book, Tang San absorbed a 400-year-old Datura snake spirit ring and was almost killed. Now it's good the system lets itself absorb a 100,000-year spirit ring at once. This is not as simple as killing it, destroy the corpse and evidence, right? Ding, what about Xiao? It hurts the fear of right, Lalian, who signed to the system, said again. Wang Xiao is unable to spit out. I said that the little elder sister of the system, let's not make a joke, okay? You just let me absorb the spirit ring of 1,000 years, 10,000 years of spirit ring. I also gritted my teeth, just stick to it. Absorbed. These 100,000 years of spirit ring. What is this concept? It is estimated that only tilted Douluo has this heavy force. Ding, don't be afraid, Xiao, didn't you just tell the little girl next to you? What danger lurks within the riches and honor? No, this system will give you this opportunity to help you all the way to the west and get the truth. Not for it? Okay, system, you have a kind. I was bombed to death and you can't live. Wang Xiao was completely convinced and was angrily at the system. Sign into the system in silence. Wang Xiao knows that once his own system decides things are indescribable, he has to do it. I don't love it anymore, the heart said. 100,000 years is 100,000 years. Maybe with 7 apertures, exquisite heart as the backing, you may not die if you want to die. Thinking about this, he felt much better. Then again, if you really absorb a 100,000 years of spirit ring, can you fight Tang Hao and Bibai Dong? Wang Xiao is happy. Okay, I have only absorbed a 10-year spirit ring. I haven't found a 100-year, 1,000-year and 10,000-year spirit ring. I think about the 100,000-year spirit ring. This is a bit nonsense. Chinese letter humph. Wan has been talking about it all the time. What can I do? Isn't this still cheap? Tang San? No, I must not fail. I can only succeed. For nothing else, just for the protagonist status of Douluo continent, I have to guard the tower. Brother Xiao, what did you say to yourself? Xiao Yan walked behind him and heard Wang Xiao saying something alone, so she curiously asked, did you just absorb when the spirit ring is on? Do you break your brain? Wang Xiao jumped back and gave Xiao Yan a small chestnut on his head. Your brain is broken, only a 10-year spirit ring, just you can ruin my brain and you look down on me too much. Then you just said, shashasha. I heard. With the abnormal sound, Wang Xiao suddenly jumped up, threw Xiaoyan to the ground and hugged her neck and rolled behind a bush, stroking her mouth with one hand to prevent her from making any noise, and whispered in Xiaoyan's ear, there is spirit beast, don't make any noise. Xiaoyan was surprised and scared by this suddenness. Shy again, this is the first time she has had such close contact with a boy. The oval face is already red like a small apple. Fortunately, Wang Xiao is behind her, otherwise she will die in embarrassment. When Wang Xiao saw that Xiaoyan was no longer moving, he let her go and then checked where the sound was coming from. On a big tree outside several hundred jang, a pointed head and a pair of scarlet pupils were exposed, making people afraid to look directly like ghosts. Xiaoyan glanced at him, shuddering, and whispered in his ear, it's a century-old datura snake, and his body is very resilient. Like spirit beast of this age, it doesn't hit its vital eyes, basically impervious to sword and spear. Besides, its venom is very powerful and it is bitten. If the soul master has no healing ability and cannot be cured by others, he must die. Unless it is a high-rank spirit master, it is possible to force the poison out. Of course, a 100-year-old datura snake is also impossible to be an opponent of a high-rank spirit master. Wang Xiao sighed listening. While muttering, this Xiaoyan spoke, how is she like Xiaogang, young little girl, and she knows a lot. He also checked. According to Xiaogang and Tang San's introduction in the original book, the age of this kind of datura snake spirit beast can generally be seen from its length. It grows by about 1 centimeter in length every year, 10 centimeters in 10 years, 1 meter in 100 years, and 10 meters in 1,000 years. It can be said that it does not grow fast. The one in front of me is only about 1.2 meters, that is to say, only about 120 years old, not too big, but it's not small. For a spirit master, it is only a dozen levels, and the first spirit ring can absorb 100 years, which is already a very remarkable thing. Wang Xiao, according to Xiaogang's theory of one of the 10 core competences in the spirit industry, his bloodvein spirit and the spirit ring of datura snake should be a perfect match, but this time he didn't get into his eyes. Wang Xiao has already planned. This second spirit ring is less than 500 years old and will not be absorbed. Only let her, Xiaoyan, this 100-year-old spirit ring of datura snake, I will let you. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Me, Xiao Yan, was a little surprised. How could Wang Xiao be so generous? But suddenly he thought of something. His complexion looked bad. But brother Xiao, my 9-leaf red lotus is a plant-based spirit. I'm afraid it won't work to absorb this beast spirit. Xiaogang's new theory of one of the 10 core competences in the spirit world, but there is no such saying. It's just that the soul masters are constrained by the traditional education of the old version of the Douluo continent spirit masters world, and the failure of the soul masters to dare to try new theories will cause Xiaoyan's inclination to think and miss it some good opportunities. I don't think so, Wang Xiao denied. Xiaoyan let out an "oh" and looked at him and continued speaking. Wang Xiao directly said, I believe you just saw that when I was absorbing the 10-year spirit ring was it the spirit ring of the 6-winged jade centipede spirit beast, and my spirit bloodvein is the same as your 9-leaf red lotus spirit, and it is also a plant-based spirit, so now that you and I have been successfully absorbed, why can't you? I said, Xiaoyan, could it be your spirit is a little longer? Or is your spirit born only 2? Or is it zinc deficient, low calcium, unable to absorb vitamin A, B, C, B, etc.? It's not good for you and you can't help it. My spirit is only 2, so I can't help but feel weak. Xiaoyan was so angry. His spirit 9-leaf red lotus, how taller than his bloodvein spirit, how could he become weak in his mouth? No, I can't make him look down on it. Xiaoyan thought for a while and felt that his theories are very reasonable. Since his bloodvein spirit is also a plant-based spirit, it can absorb the spirit ring of spirit beast. Why is mine not good? Wang Xiao said again. Take the spirit beast such as the datura snake. It is a long strip and it is very tough, and it is also a poisonous spirit beast. If your 9-leaf red lotus absorbs its spirit ring, whether it is from toughness or incidental toxicity. Can it give your plant spirit better toughness and offensive? In that way, your 9-leaf red lotus spirit is not only an auxiliary spirit, but it can also control spirit to attack the enemy with poison. Isn't it more perfect? Huh. Zioin grabbed. I scratched my head. It really made sense. I looked towards Wang Zio again and looked at it carefully. I didn't seem to see clearly before. I suspected that this little boy over 6 years old is so sophisticated in speaking and knows so much. Invented his own set of theories. How come they know more than the teachers of the academy? Brother Zio, you mean that if I absorb the spirit ring of Datura Snake, not only will my spirit power be upgraded, but my auxiliary spirit will become a dual skill, which can assist and defend against attacks? Let's do it. No matter how much you say, it's better to make it. I'll show you my bloodvein spirit now and see if it's right. Support and attack. Well, Zioin is a little excited. If so, will his future destiny be able to attack, and he no longer has to rely on the protection of others in the face of strong when the enemy attacks. They also have the ability to counterattack and defend themselves. Sissisi, the century-old Datura snake, can't wait. The 1-meter-long body leaps and reaches in front of them like lightning, and opens her mouth to Zioyan. Bite his nose. Zioyan was stunned. She was completely unprepared. She had no courage to avoid it, so she could only close her eyes and wait for death to come. In a flash, she felt her body light. Her slender waist was hugged by something and changed to place. She opened her eyes and saw that she was hugging her waist. It has escaped the attack of Spirit Beast for 100 years. She was hugged and hugged by a boy for the first time, and the oval face egg instantly turned red into a small apple. Tusk 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 tilde, that shy little look is so astringent. Wang Zio didn't have time to look at her. Facing the 100-year-old Dora snake who had caught up with him, a white halo rose rapidly from his lower body, swelled and emitted a dazzling light. It was just that he had just absorbed it. 10 years of spirit ring. The right hand opened and a scarlet plant quickly rose up in the palm of his palm. In a short while it grew to 10 meters long. And its leaves, like 3 pairs of wings, are tenacious, straight, stretchable and free to rotate. A bit like 6 sharp blades. Good, very good. It seems that after I absorbed the spirit ring of the centipede spirit beast of the 6-winged jade, the bloodvein spirit also mutated. Not only did the stems grow longer, the toughness increased tenfold, and the leaves also mutated into 6-winged jade. The shape of the 6 pairs of wings of centipede. First spirit ability, kill. With an order, the bloodvein spirit resembled a living creature. Several stalks sprang out quickly and immediately surrounded, binding with the century-old Datura snake that had leapt in front of him. The 6-winged leaves on the stem immediately rotate 360 degrees like a propeller, cutting the body of Datura snake from top to bottom. It opened its bloody mouth wide open like a sacrificial bowl, spitting venom directly on the stems and leaves of the bloodvein spirit, and wanted to swallow its own bloodvein strips and leaves to get out of it. But what Datura snake didn't expect was that the venom he vomited not only didn't swallow the stems and leaves of bloodvein, but also absorbed its venom cleanly. There was nothing left until it was unable to struggle, able to give up life and let go. Chapter 26. This 100-year-old Dora snake was finally unable to extricate himself after Wang Zio's tossing, lying on the ground steadily, keeping his breath, waiting for the final make-up. Wang Zio let go of it and looked back at his companion standing outside Tenjiang and said, "Zioin, it's your turn." Zioin was shivered. I realized that this century-old Datura snake had been beat to the ground by him and could take the spirit ring. I immediately took out the knife and rushed up, raised the knife in his hand and pierced it into the head. Datura snake only struggled twice in a century, breathe one's last, and bid farewell to this world forever. Only a yellow light appeared on his body, and a halo shone in the air. Zioin felt happy because it was its century-old spirit ring and then looked back at him. "Brother Zio, you really want to let me absorb this century-old spirit ring?" Wang Zio opened his eyes wide and looked at her in amazement. "Isn't it necessary for the spirit master to kill the spirit beast to absorb the spirit ring? The last knife is you think I'm here. You kidding me?" Zioin blushed and suddenly felt a little stupid. This kind of well-known problem, even if not a soul master knows it. Since I asked it, I was blushed with shame for a while. "Thank you, K." Wang Zio waved his hand. "I will protect you, hurry up, I have to find the next spirit ring." Zioin is nodded, very touched, and said to her heart, Zio is so kind to herself, she will never forget him in the future, and she will never forget him even if she is a ghost. She immediately meditated, began to use spirit power, released the spirit 9-leaf red lotus and began to meditate and absorb this century-old spirit ring. Wang Zio sat aside and glanced at Zioin's spirit curiously. It turned out to be a green plant with 9 leaves. It's just a fly in the ointment. I didn't see its flowers. It should not bloom until the first spirit ring is absorbed. The leaves of the 9-leaf red lotus are not red. Only the lotus that blooms is red, which is why it is called the 9-leaf red lotus. Gulu tilde. Wang Zio is hungry again and has to eat something to replenish his strength. I immediately took out 3 large sausages from 24 moonlit bridges, a pot of old wine, and ate them with keen interest pleasure. There are not many big sausages, there are 2 left, and there is no market in this hunting forest. Wang Zio wondered whether to catch 2 pheasants, wild rabbits, or wild boars next time. Shasha 1 hour of protecting the law, Zioan has not completed the spirit ring absorption. A few tenjangs came out sound abnormal sound. Wang Zio was lying on a rock at this time, and after hearing the movement he opened his eyes slightly to peep all directions. I clearly felt an oppression not far away and there was a nauseating stench in the air. What is snake? Well, it is indeed the same as the one I killed just now. It's just that the taste is stronger and the aura is more shocking. It seems that the cultivation base should be more than 500 years old or even higher. Wang Zio said in his heart, could it be the couple, parents or relatives and friends of this datura snake? If yes, it is to find yourself to seek revenge. If this datura snake is more than a 500-year cultivation base, then it just happened. Anyway, his next goal is the 500-year spirit beast. It's really early, not as good as a coincidence. Travel far and wide looking for something, only to return and find it easily. Wang Zio, a earth dog, turned over, immediately rolled off the stone and hid in the bushes on one side, revealing only a pair of strong features which he observed in secret. Suddenly, at the Sioux on the head, a very long thing passed by. A gust of wind followed, causing the earth demon Wang Zio to twitch and shake, knowing that the major event was not good. Sissy hearing the sound above his head, Wang Zio felt cold and suddenly a drop of water fell on his back. Zin said that it would not be someone spitting on the tree. Right, I will go. The fire in Wang Zio's heart is blazing. Suddenly raised his head and have a look. Damn, Wang Zio could only see clearly that a long thing was hanging on a tree, and a bloody mouth wide open like a sacrificial bowl was drooling, sticking out a pink tongue glaring at himself below. So that's how it is. Sure enough, it is another century-old datura snake. Look at its length again. It should be above 9 meters and below 10 meters. The cultivation only grows 1 centimeter a year. In other words, the datura snake in front of me has at least a 900-year-old cultivation base, which is a 900-year-old spirit beast. Wang Zio is happy. Okay. The 900-year-old spirit ring was just delivered to the door. Swish datura snake swooped down at it suddenly, trying to swallow his head in one bite. Wang Zio was so angry that his teeth clenched. Jai, and another earth dog turned over to avoid the blow of datura snake. Here comes another one and stands up, looking at it coldly. Datura snake, who is 9 meters long, flew into the air, hitting his head directly on the ground, a little dizzy. The long body was spinning on the ground, switching back and forth, and finally found standing behind it and facing Wang Zio with a silk sound. Wang Zio shook his head and hooked his finger at it. The grandfather is here. If you have the kind, please go. Sissy datura snake, no, you are polite, and jumped up from the ground again. Wang Zio turned 3 times in a row and easily escaped the fatal blow of datura snake. Datura snake is offensive and strong, quickly turned around, another blow. Wang Zio ducked behind him. Datura snake flew past it, her back empty. Wang Zio seized the opportunity and used his feet to spin around on the ground. After turning up several feet, he grabbed the empty snake tail in the back with one hand in the air, and he immediately pulled the snake with his feet on the ground. Body lifted the force to hit it forward, making a paw sound. Datura snake, who was more than 9 meters long, was thrown and confused. Datura snake's 900-year-old cultivation base, coupled with its extremely tough body, makes it so easy to get injured. Immediately turn around and kill, bloody mouth wide open like a sacrificial bowl, and a thick venom sprayed at him, speed and passion, you can't guard against it. In a flash, Wang Zio opened his arms and exerted force together, and the halo of his lower body suddenly rose. A plant grew from his back and quickly rose up, covering his whole body, leaving a forehead. Open your mouth and a pair of eyes to ventilate outside and observe in secret. The venom could not get close to his body. It was completely blocked by the blood vein and was absorbed cleanly by its stems and leaves. Wang Zio slightly smiled. Hee hee, Zio manman, you can't beat me. You will die obediently. Maybe I can leave you a whole corpse for brother Zio. Just dig a hole and pile it up. You can set up a stone tablet or something for a small bag. Sissy. Datura snake didn't eat his set in the 900 years and quickly went back and forth. He vomited a few mouthfuls of slobber, but as soon as the venom arrived in front of him, it was immediately absorbed by blood vein and there was nothing left. Wang Zio crossed the cup with his hands on his chest and watched the mandala spit and perform, steady like a bystander, with no waves on his face. Datura snake took a few more squirts but still couldn't spray him, and his whole body exploded immediately and his pupils became more fierce. It's a datura snake who has lived for 900 years. How could I not know what happened? Now it wants to rush up, bite him, and then pour the poison into his body as much as he wants. When he is dead, he can eat whatever he wants, and it is not a bite to swallow. Problem: Swish datura snake finally didn't control her emotions and aimed at Wang Zio's exposed mouth and wanted to have a close contact. Wang Zio smiled without saying a word when he saw it, said in his heart, just waiting for you, didn't expect to lose his breath so soon. Beasts are beasts, no matter how cunning and vicious, they can't do humans. What a silly snake. Tusk. Datura snake saw that she was about to succeed. It was about 1.1 centimeters away to bite his lips and have an intimate contact, human and beast kissing, but it absolutely did not expect that this one. 1 cm distance will always become an insurmountable gap. Its body is fixed in the air, and the stems at the back have bound half of its body and grow quickly, wrapping up the other half of its body. The six-wing blade also began to rotate 360 degrees, continuously cutting its body. Datura's snake, who was 900 years old, was extremely resilient, but he couldn't stand the toss. Only the last blow can be launched with one capacity. The whole body is used up and down, and the body bursts out instantly like an inflated ball. Puff Pu shook the blood vein strip on his body and disappeared. Well, there are two things. Wang Xiao smiled, and immediately used the surging wave's subtle steps accelerated version of lightweight art to dodge aside, avoiding the blow of Datura's snake. It glows yellow all over, and it has obviously used the spirit power of the whole body up and down, then drove full power and attacked Wang Xiao, trying to take advantage of this most powerful blow to defeat him. Wang Xiao didn't pay attention to his attack at all. With his accelerated version of surging wave's subtle steps, the speed of Datura's snake simply couldn't catch up. Datura's snake chased Wang Xiao for a long time but couldn't catch up with him, so she was exhausted. The opportunity is here, this is the time. Wang Xiao thought's move flashed behind Datura's snake, grabbed its tail and released another spirit thunder hammer. The first spirit ability, the final word. Wang Xiao raised the hammer and fell, hitting the snake's head with a hammer. I smashed it directly. Wang Xiao immediately retracted the thunder hammer, took out the dagger, and plunged into the head of Datura's snake like a lightning treasure, immediately releasing a yellow halo from its body. Chapter 27. 27. A 900-year-old spirit ring has reached the absorption limit of Wang Xiao's second spirit ring, so it must be absorbed. I looked back at Xiaoyan and saw that she hadn't finished absorbing the spirit ring of the 120-year-old Datura snake, and she didn't wait for her. After spirit comes out, it will disappear in an hour, so it has to be absorbed in time. Wang Xiao immediately sat down in front of the spirit ring and used the spirit power to release the bloodvein spirit and begin to absorb it, after about 1 hour. Xiaoyan finally absorbed her first spirit ring, and a halo lit up under her body, which was the century-old spirit ring she had just absorbed. Then 9 leaves of Jigehanglian also began to grow rapidly, reaching about 1 meter too. A miracle happened and a red bud grew out of the 9 leaves. When it grew to a height of 1 meter and 2, the bud head immediately bloomed and the red light flashed, warming Xiaoyan's surroundings and her own body. This is the sufficient spirit power to bring vitality to spirit. 9-leaf red lotus is an auxiliary spirit to have this healing function. Suddenly Xiaoyan remembered something and hurriedly scanned all directions, only to see Wang Xiao outside Tenjiang, also sitting there to absorb the spirit ring. Xiao, did he hunt down a spirit beast again? I trot over immediately, and it really happened. Xiaoyan swept the door a snake on the ground in front of him again. It was about 9 meters in length and was shocked. It's a 900-year-old spirit beast. Xiao, so amazing. 110. No, it should be a level 11 spirit master. Since he can kill Datura's snake for 900 years, how did he do it? Xiaoyan glanced all around and found a lot of incomplete flowers and willows, and knew that she had just missed a fierce battle. Think about how difficult and dangerous Brother Xiao was when he faced this 900-year-old Datura snake just now. It's just his last, but he can successfully kill it. How did he do it at this time? A dazzling yellow halo under Wang Xiao's body rose from his lower body, and the blood vein behind him also quickly grew and bloomed. Then it keeps growing until it grows several hundred meters long. Wang Xiao opened his eyes and his face was a little pale. That was the reason why he had exhausted too much physical strength to absorb the 900-year-old spirit ring just now. Look again. After I absorbed the second centennial spirit ring, the blood vein has grown to 9 more than 100 meters long, becoming tenacious and stronger. Wang Xiao's power to control spirit is also a lot stronger, and I feel that this effort is worthwhile. Xiao, congratulations on absorbing the second 900-year spirit ring. Xiaoyan immediately stepped forward to congratulate. Wang Xiao looked back. It was Xiaoyan. It seemed that she had absorbed the centuries-old spirit ring. Same joy and joy. Xiaoyan walked in front of him and hugged him. Thank you, Xiao. Without you, I would not be able to win this century-old spirit ring. You are welcome. Wang Xiao waved his hand. Yes, after Xiaoyan, since you have absorbed the spirit ring, there is no need to stay any longer. Go back soon. What about you? Don't you go with me? Xiaoyan listened to him, meaning it seems that I don't plan to go back. Wang Xiao shook his head. No, I didn't tell you just now, but I have to absorb a 1,000-year spirit ring. Then I want to go with you. Don't. For these 1,000 years, spirit beasts can only be found in the center of the hunting forest. It is too dangerous for you to follow. Xiaoyan bites her teeth. So what? May I know? But we are here together. We have to leave together. How can we leave our teammates halfway and leave by ourselves? Wang Xiao waved his hand. Xiaoyan is obedient. This is really not necessary. You can help. Then I took out the last 2 large sausage from 24 moonlit bridges and one gave her. Eat it, add some spirit power and get out. Xiaoyan didn't say much, so she ate. Wang Xiao also finished eating the sausage in his hand, then bid farewell to Xiaoyan and walked into the depths of the forest. Until he couldn't see his back, Xiao Yan waved his hand to him, turned her head 3 times and left one after another reluctantly, about 10 miles away. Wang Xiao encountered a spirit beast that was more than 8,000 years old, a triangular python. Although this kind of snake is non-venomous, its binding force is extremely powerful, which is not comparable to deter a snake. Wang Xiao fought it for more than 1,000 rounds before finally taking it down and successfully absorbed the 8,000-year spirit ring. This system has completed 2-3 of the tasks assigned by the system, and there is a 10,000-year spirit ring and a 100,000-year spirit ring to find. Wang Xiao can hunt an 8,000-year spirit beast this time, but thanks to the assistance of 7 Aperture's Exquisite Heart, he can provide him with continuous spirit power. Otherwise, facing the 1,000-year spirit beast, there is really no chance of winning. Grasp even more how is a spirit beast that is more than 8,000 years old, nearly 10,000 years old. I'm hungry. Wang Xiao went to catch a wild boar which looked like 100 jinn, dealt with it and set fire to roast the whole pig banquet. I ate more than 10 caddies in one breath and the rest was stored in 24 moonlit bridges and I kept it for the next meal and eaten slowly. There is also a 10,000-year spirit ring. 100,000-year spirit ring has to be absorbed. 2 life and death battles are inevitable. It won't work if you don't add more physical strength. Saint Spirit Village ding dang dang tilde tang san hit the iron a few times and then put down the hammer. It has been many days since I saw Brother Xiao showing up, and I don't know where to go in a month. The new Uding City Primary Level Soul Master Academy is about to start school. I wonder if Brother Xiao will sign up. A few days later. Wang Xiao is almost close to the center of the hunting forest. Along the way he has encountered several scenes where the Soul Master and the Spirit Beast fight, but they are all centuries millennia spirit beast. What he was looking for was 10,000 years spirit beast, so he lost interest. I think of myself as a passerby, just look at it and it's done. New Uding City Primary Level Soul Master Academy, Teacher Dormitory Building. Xiaoging stood on the balcony of his dormitory, raised his eyes to the direction of the hunting soul forest, muttering to himself, Xiao, the child who has been there for so many days has not come back. Nothing will happen, right? It shouldn't be. It is an extraordinary natural talent. Even if it encounters danger, it can be solved. I think too much. I would walk with him personally if I knew it, at least I could help him more. Taoshan Village. Xiao Wu stood at the entrance of the village and looked into the distance. He didn't see the silhouette of Xiao coming back. He felt bitter. Xiao, where are you going? 7 days later, Wang Xiao came to the center of the hunting forest. This is the most dangerous place in the entire forest. It is also a gathering place for high-level spirit beast. I searched for half a month. I have found a lot of spirit beast for 1,000 years, but I haven't found one spirit beast for thousands of years. It's really exhausted. Because I didn't take a bath for half a month, I got dirty. I plan to find a pool, lake or something and take a good bath. Wang Xiao searched for a while and finally saw a small lake in the middle of the flat woods in front. He was overjoyed. I can finally get into the water and wash it clean. Chapter 28. The water in the small lake is crystal clear. Wang Xiao observed carefully. There was no danger, so he took off his pants and jumped in. Crash bang tilde splash, a wave of waves, then swim, wash and wash the body. Olala tilde. Suddenly, a strange noise came from the middle of the lake, shocking Wang Xiao, who was taking a bath in the lake, to his jaw. What stuff? Wang Xiao muttered to himself, looking at the place where the sound was made. I saw a small island in the middle of the lake. It was not very big, it looked like 5 acres of land at most. Could it be that there is spirit beast on it? Wang Xiao thought for a while. It is really possible. I happen to be looking for a 10,000-year spirit beast, so I can check it out. If it is the Wanian spirit beast, then the 4th spirit ring will be made. Wang Xiao immediately swims to Lake Heart Island, in order not to disturb spirit beast, only diving tour. When he got close to the lake, he exposed his head and carefully climbed onto the shore. Suddenly discovered that in the middle of the lake, apart from a few towering trees, there is only one vine left. Wang Xiao also knows that it is climbing mountain tiger. The life force of this vine plant is tenacious and can climb mountains, trees and walls. And this Lake Heart Island is also covered by this climbing mountain tiger. So this small island has been completely controlled by it. Wang Xiao thought for a while and planned to climb the roots of mountain tiger to take a look. Crash bang tilde. Just then, the sound of water came from behind. Wang Xiao listened as if something came out of the lake and was climbing ashore. What will it be? Wang Xiao shrank behind the tree, looked towards that end. As a result, he was a shivered scare. I saw a big head protruding from the surface of the water. After turning a few turns, he slowly climbed onto the shore. This thing has a flat head, a triangular shape, a pair of eyes as white as a bright moon and the size of a lantern. It is very terrifying, still spitting out the letter, making a silk sound. This is not a snake, what is it? Wang Xiao saw this big snake, only to remember that this thing was seen in the Spirit Beast book in the library of Notting Academy. It is called Reverse Scale, a very powerful spirit beast. According to the book's record, This reverse scale is not less than a spirit beast that is more than 30,000 years old. Really travel far and wide looking for something, only to return and find it easily. Didn't expect to take a bath and you can find such a 10,000-year spirit beast. It just so happens that the fourth spirit ring, Wanian spirit ring, has been completed. Reverse scale is called reverse scale because the scales on its body can be retrograde. It can also rotate back and forth like a blade up and down the whole body. The most powerful thing is its scales, then the binding and the sharp teeth in the mouth and the powerful tail. A big tree can be flew out by its tail. The reverse scale then climbed ashore. The scales on the top and bottom of the body were pure white, about 30 meters in size. 1 meter represents 1,000 years of cultivation base, more than 30 meters, about 30,000 years of spirit beast. This age is just in line with the absorption conditions of his fourth spirit ring, the 10,000-year spirit ring. Sissy reverse scale, the armor boar suddenly exploded its hair, opened its bloody mouth wide open like a sacrificial bowl, and rushed towards where he was hiding. Wang Xiao knew that he had been exposed, so he stopped avoiding, grabbed his leg and fled. Using Surging Wave's subtle steps accelerated version of lightweight art, temporarily one step ahead of reverse scale armor. Bang bang bang, the scales of this thing are too strong and they all move just like the propeller blades of an airplane. The body can be separated from the ground and fly. In this way, the speed of the action of the reverse scale armor bob is many times faster. Wang Xiao immediately released 3 spirit rings. The spirit power increased, and then he reluctantly ran ahead. But if this thing can be fast, then it will not be able to run. Then you can only go around the reverse scale armor bob, or you can run in a straight line. You really can't run it. Bang 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 tilde reverse scale. The scales of the armor bob spin around and make a series of noises, like a big engine, which is about to surpass the galloping Wang Xiao ahead. He doesn't want to go into the water. After all, the reverse scale beetle is more powerful underwater than on the shore. And once it's in the water, it's even more bode ill rather than well. Wang Xiao will not make such a low-level mistake. Looking back, the reverse scale armor has almost caught up. What should I do? Wang Xiao thought for a while and felt that spirit had come in handy. Immediately use the spirit power of the whole body, release the Bloodvein spirit with the left hand, and release the Thunder Hammer spirit with the right hand. The first soul skill, kill. Bloodvein spirit immediately grows rapidly, from emerging from the ground, soaring into the sky, blocking the reverse scale beetle on the flying string above, binding it, and the 6-wing blades rotating, cutting its body from head to tail. Reverse scale, the beetle was unable to get out for a while and was killed by the stems and leaves of Bloodvein. Wang Xiao sighed in relief, stood still outside Tenjiang, then coldly looked at the entangled reverse scale armor and said, "You are not my opponent, or surrender early and become brother's spirit." Bloodvein spirit's cable, although the kill skill temporarily trapped the reverse scale armor. But the rotating blade of the 6-wing blade could not cut the thick scales on its body. Bang 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 scale. The reverse scale on the body of the armor was also rotated immediately, and immediately destroyed the Wang Xiao Bloodvein spirit kill skill. Then the whole body swelled up, black light flashed up and down the whole body, and the scales on its body rotated faster. He tilde Wang Xiao said in his heart, it was a 30,000-year-old spirit beast, and his first spirit ability was destroyed by it. Sissy tilde reverse scale. As soon as the armor bob got out of his body, he immediately turned around and his long tail quickly grabbed him. A sneer flashed at the corner of Wang Xiao's mouth. He had already guarded against it for a long time, and flashed it with the accelerated version of Surging Wave's subtle steps. Peng tilde peng tilde peng tilde tilde. Several big trees around were swept by its big tails, and they broke into 2 immediately and fell to the ground. Reverse scale, the armor hesitated for a moment. Wang Xiao caught this gap and immediately activated a new skill. The second spirit ability, Strangling. The difference between this spirit ability and the first one is that Bloodvein possesses the strength of the 2nd-century-old spirit ring will become greater, the binding force will be stronger, the 6-wing blade will be larger, stronger and more profitable, and the cutting speed will be faster. Bloodvein grows rapidly. The stem reaches the thick arm, the leaves are like a fan, hiding the sky and the earth. Come down, immediately cover the reverse scale beetle in it, rotate the binding, and cut with the 6-wing blade. Bang bang bang, rubbing against each other. The noise is constant. Reverse scale, the armor boar only struggled a few times and disappeared. Wang Xiao slightly smiled. See how you come out here, peng tilde peng tilde peng tilde. He was happy. Suddenly black light appeared on the reverse scale armor bob. A powerful spirit power came from its body. He shot it from place to place and completely blasted the Bloodvein stems and leaves that were strangling on it and got away again. The strength of the reverse scale has also reached its peak, twisting its body, spinning 360 degrees in the air and soaring into the sky until midair, then swooped down on Wang Xiao's head, trying to knock him to death by relying on his powerful body and strength, and swallowed. Wang Xiao dodges as soon as he retreats and shows up outside Tenjiang. Reverse scale the armor flew into the air, knocking out a big hole in the ground, and the vegetation was flying. Still not convinced? Wang Xiao was a little angry. The third spirit ability, Thorn Penetration. The Thorn Penetration skill combines the power of 3 spirit rings and the characteristics of the 8-0-year spirit beast. Triangular python can not only make the stems and leaves of bloodvein grow longer and thicker, but also have stronger binding power. It can also make the stems and leaves grow like the 3 sharp horns on the head of a triangular snake, which are extremely hard. It can pierce all the vital points, and it is accompanied by the corrosive poison of the centipede spirit beast of 10-year 6-wing jade and the paralytic poison of the century-old datura snake, destroying nerves and other poison element. Once you pierce the vitals of the reverse scale armor boa, you won't die, you'll have to be injured and poisoned. Wang Xiao feels that with this third spirit ability, and then use Thunder Hammer Spirit to make a hammer or two, it is almost done. Chapter 29. Wang Xiao released the third spirit ability Thorn's Penetration, and once again trapped the reverse scale armor bob. The bloodvein was strengthened to the extreme and the stalk completely wrapped it, and it had already wanted to escape. Late, the thorns on the vine grow out one by one and penetrate into the body of the reverse scale beetle. Although its body is covered with indestructible scales everywhere, its eyes and mouth are indeed the key points. After a while, the spines penetrated its eyes and mouth. Reverse scale the armor boar is immediately poisoned and paralyzed. Nerve twitches, defense and attack power is immediately halved. The mental force is also shrinking, and the toxins on the spines continue to infuse it, making it more numb. Bloodvein's powerful binding and compression force make it even more impossible to move even a little bit. Well, the opportunity is here. Wang Xiao is overjoyed, and immediately lights up the thunder hammer in the right hand, raised high, and the white electric root flashes. The first soul skill, the final word. The hammer fell with his hand, and it hit the reverse scale armor's head heavily. Reverse scale the armor bob shook his whole body a few times before lying on the ground, which was already impossible to move. Wang Xiao immediately took out the dagger and made a final patch. Stabbed the reverse scale armor bob to death. Immediately a black halo rose from the body of the reverse scale armor bob, floating in the air. It is Black's 10,000-year spirit ring. Spirit beast spirit ring. Age can be distinguished by color. The spirit beast spirit ring for 10 years is white. 100 years is yellow. The millennium is purple. Wanian is black. 100,000 years is red. As far as the entire Douluo continent is concerned, the spirit beast that has been discovered is only about 100,000 years old. Like 1,000,000 years old, it has not been discovered yet. Of course, not without. For example, in the great forest of Heaven Dew, the sleeping silver dragon King Gu Yuina is spirit beast over 1,000,000 years old. However, this kind of existence against the sky can be counted on one's fingers in Douluo continent. Wang Xiao immediately glanced all around and saw that no other spirit masters were approaching the dangerous spirit beast, and then he took a seat and began to absorb the 10,000-year spirit ring of the 30,000-year spirit beast. When Bloodvein spirit is released, Wang Xiao immediately enters meditation. The Wanian spirit ring moved a few times and flew towards him, went around him a few times and started to rise to the top of his head. Wang Xiao immediately felt a powerful oppression force and he was out of breath. The body and bones also make a zhai sound. Such an oppression force, this was his first experience. Sure enough, it is the spirit ring of spirit beast for 10,000 years, but it is different. If you don't have 7 apertures Exquisite heart as your backing or the last 8,000 years of spirit ring, you'll have to blow yourself up. Even more how this is the Wanian spirit ring. Look at my own level again, it's only about level 15 and less than level 20. It absorbs a 10,000-year spirit ring. This seems a bit fantasy story. About 3 hours later, Wang Xiao finally absorbed this 10,000-year spirit ring and almost killed him. If it weren't for the 7 apertures Exquisite heart protection, it would explode several times, almost exploding by the energy of the 10,000 years of spirit ring. Wang Xiao successfully absorbed the Wanian spirit ring, and his body was a little weak, so he had to replenish some energy. I immediately took out a few caddies of wild boar from the 24 moonlit bridges and ate it. I'm thirsty. Take out another jug, fill it with water and drink water while eating meat. Wang Xiao, when looking towards the reverse scale armored bob corpse, suddenly saw a white thing floating on its body, covered with white scales. I quickly took it over and took a look and said to my heart, is this what the original book of Douluo continent said? After spirit beast is killed, there may be some additional things attached called spirit bone. Yes, spirit bone is the spirit bone of this reverse scale armor. Wang Xiao is overjoyed. This reverse scale armor spirit bone is Peak's defensive spirit bone. I can completely absorb it, so I took back the 24 moonlit bridges and did not intend to absorb it here. And it's too dangerous here. This thing is different from the spirit ring. For the spirit ring, it must be absorbed within an hour. More than 1 hour, it will disappear if it is not absorbed. Spirit bone is different. Even if it is not absorbed for several years or tens of thousands of years, it will not be bad as long as it is stored well. It has been absorbed by the soul master, and it can be used again after digging it out. This is the benefit of spirit bone. Below is the last spirit ring, 100,000 years of spirit ring. Wang Zio is a bit big with 100,000 years of spirit beast. Where can I find it? The Stardew Great Forest. Spirit beast may get together in 100,000 years, and there are those who get together. But this is the hunting forest. Even if there are one or two, it is probably hard to find. Wang Zio can't help it. The task assigned by the system can't be completed. Don't even think about leaving this place. It's better to keep looking. I plan to look around. If good luck, I should be able to find it immediately. Unlucky, 10 days and 8 months, you may not be able to find it. Wang Zio was about to turn his head and leave and suddenly remembered something. He looked back at the climbing mountain tiger behind him and suddenly his eyes lit up. That's right. The plant spirit beast is also the spirit beast. So this mountain tiger is so huge, will it? Thinking of this, Wang Zio heartbeat accelerates. It's possible. It's possible that this mountain tiger climbing mountain tiger is a 100,000-year-old spirit beast. Maybe. Hung Long Long tilde Wang Zio was going to climb the mountain tiger main route to check. Lake Heart Island suddenly got up and the earth shook and the mountain quivered, almost making him unable to stand firm. Fell to the ground. Yes, this is the spirit beast, a 100,000-year-old mountain tiger plant. I finally found it. It's just a bit big, it's not easy to digest. Wang Zio stepped back immediately, using the strength of his whole body to release the spirit rings of white, yellow, purple, and black. And release 2 spirits, Bloodvein Spirit and Thunderhammer Spirit. No matter how powerful the mountain tiger spirit beast is, this battle is inevitable. Even more, how is still a task assigned by the system. If you can't absorb this 100,000 years of spirit ring, if you repeat the task, you will never want to leave this forest. Since there is no retreat, you can only choose to fight. Climbing mountain tiger up the ground, the vines grow wildly, and the roots are all over the Lake Heart Island and the entire lake, sweeping towards him together. Wang Zio turned around and found that there was no way to go. He was wrapped in mountain tiger vines, hiding the sky and covering the earth, and locked in it. Then the small roots on the stem segments are like its hands and straws, sharp and sharp, surrounding his body, trying to drain his body. Wang Zio laughed, wanting to eat me. There is no door. The first spirit ability, kill. The second spirit ability, strangling. The third spirit ability, thorn penetration. The fourth spirit ability, reverse scale spiral cut. Reverse scale spiral cut. He just absorbed reverse scale. The fourth new spirit ability created by the 30,000-year-old spirit ring of the armor. Bloodvein is mutated. The stems and leaves are fully armed, and the reverse scale is inherited. Not only the stems and leaves are more tough, the binding is stronger. The reverse scale piece of armor that grows on the surface is defensive, rotating, hard, and the sharp cutting power is terrifying. Chapter 30. 30 Bloodveins. 1, 2, 3, 4 spirit abilities are used in succession and they are extremely powerful. Especially the fourth spirit ability, the reverse scale spiral cut. The lethality exploded, immediately cut off the climbing mountain tiger vines wrapped around him and fell to the ground. Wang Zio gets away, and the horse uses the surging wave's subtle steps accelerated version of lightweight art to leave the place. Pass the spirit power to your feet, speed faster, dodge left and right close to the main heart root of mountain tiger, in order to defeat its core, in order to get twice the result. Generally speaking, spirit beast is often inferior to combat spirit masters in terms of fighting. Otherwise, there would be no spirit beast that many soul masters skipping grades to kill and die several times longer than their cultivation time. Although this mountain tiger is a 100,000-year-old spirit beast, it is obviously not very strong in terms of battle strength. First spirit ability, kill, strangulation, spine penetration, reverse scale spiral slash, reverse scale spiral slash. Wang Zio rushed to the main root of the mountain tiger while using his spirit skills to kill the vines that were blocking the way. Like a hot knife through butter, immediately I went to the main root of climbing mountain tiger. Reverse scale spiral cut, reverse scale spiral cut. Wang Zio used 2 fourth spirit skills in a row to cut its roots straight. Although the main root of climbing mountain tiger cannot be hurt, but climbing mountain tiger has no time to deal with him. Take advantage of this free time. Wang Zio will use the second spirit, Thunderhammer. I saw his right hand grip the Thunderhammer tightly and the spirit power was injected. It immediately became huge. The first spirit ability, a final hammer, heavy hammer, smashed and climbed the main heart root of mountain tiger. The second spirit ability, shaking the mountain. Thunderhammer, the second spirit ability, shaking the mountain. Although in the first spirit ability, the final word, the same, it is also the power of a hammer, but the power is 100 times that of the first spirit ability. So with the hammer down, the earth shook and the mountain quivered up immediately. I hit mountain tiger and a golden light flashed. Third spirit ability, 1,000 caddies falling. Wang Zio hit another hammer down, sluggish as he climbed the mountain tiger mental. 1,000 caddies falling spirit ability, like the first and second spirit ability, is also the power of a hammer. But the difference is that it is 1,000 times the power of the first spirit ability. The hammer went down, obviously stunned to climb mountain tiger. After that, climbing the mountain tiger and attacking with all his strength, vines shot out from the ground and surrounded him. Wang Zio twitched his mouth, and another move was a reverse scale spiral cut. The two spirits were used in turn, immediately resisting the vine attack of climbing mountain tiger. Fourth spirit ability, 1000 hammers 100 refinements. Wang Xiao finally released Thunder Hammer's fourth spirit ability, 1000 hammers 100 refinements. This spirit ability is different from the first three spirit skills in that he can hit 1000 hammers in succession without losing power, and the power of one hammer is more than one. This is the power of this Thunder Hammer spirit, the fourth spirit ability. Using this spirit ability, the spirit power consumption is also superimposed with each hammer hit. This is also the pros and cons of this move. Once it is sent out, it can only be received by hitting 1000 hammers. This is where its terrifying is located. If it weren't for this 100,000-year-old mountain tiger to fight against a normal spirit master spirit beast, this move would never be used. Reverse scale spiral cut. 1000 hammers 100 refinements. 1000 hammers 100 refinements. 1000 hammers 100 refinements. Wang Xiao immediately used Bloodvein Spirit's fourth spirit ability once again to cut off the vines from its attack and then launched Thunder Hammer 3 times in succession. Spirit's fourth spirit ability wanted to hit the iron while it was hot and defeat it at once. After all, there was such a big disturbance in this battle. Once other spirit masters are disturbed, there is no one to protect the law. Even if they climb the mountain tiger spirit beast and defeat them, absorbing the spirit ring will be a troublesome problem. It must be quick sword cuts through tangled hemp, the sooner the better. Wang Xiao continued to attack and the spirit power was not consumed much. Fortunately, this continuous attack and killer move, and Thunder Hammer's built-in lightning effect, shrank the mountain tiger climbing, temporarily lost the ability to attack and fell to the ground temporarily numb. Well, the opportunity is here. Wang Xiao pulled his mouth, the dagger he had prepared earlier dashed to the heart of the mountain tiger climber, pierced it sharply, bright red, the blood spurted out. A step back, flashed past. The blood that climbs the mountain tiger is corrosive. Once it gets on it, it will eat flesh and blood. And it is inevitable. Wang Xiao has seen it on the Spirit Beast Encyclopedia in the Notting Academy Library, so beware. Climbing mountain tiger trembled for a few times, and then completely hung up. Then a red halo rose from the root of the main heart of the mountain tiger and floated in the air. Wang Xiao is overjoyed. Ha ha ha, this red soul of light is so wonderful. Isn't it a 100,000-year spirit ring, red spirit ring? Yes. Me finally succeeded. Wang Xiao was overjoyed, then glanced at all directions. No one approached, and then sat down in front of the climbing mountain tiger, sitting upright, and began to meditate, absorbing this red 10. Wanian spirit ring. Being happy, Wang Xiao still feels a little worried. Can his body around level 15 really absorb a 100,000-year spirit ring even with 7 apertures exquisite heart as the backing? It may not be able to suppress the spirit power of stormy sea brought by this 100,000 years of spirit ring. Hey, Wang Xiao sighed, and said to his heart, now that the knife is already on his neck, there is no other way. After all, it is a task assigned by the sign-in system, which must be completed. Even if it cannot be supported, it must be supported. Instant success to yourself and cultivate a positive fruit. Wang Xiao gritted his teeth and immediately released the Bloodvein Spirit to absorb the mountain tiger spirit ring for 100,000 years. After a while, the 100,000-year spirit ring moved. Wang Xiao's heart is shocked. It seems that these 100,000 years of spirit ring are not so easy to absorb. I meditated on a big 1 hour, but it moved a bit, and I don't know if it can succeed. Climbing mountain tiger and bloodvein are both plant-based, and they are also perennial vines. From this point of view, the two are very consistent to absorb the target. So the success rate should be above 90%, but there are exceptions. The level difference is also a key factor. The risk is even greater. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Tilde the 100,000 years spirit ring moved a few more times, the red light fluctuating sound. The power is very powerful. Wang Xiao was so far away from the waves of power that his head wang shook and he was heartbroken. This is still not close. Once you get close or inhale your body, what will happen is hard to say. Anyway, bode ill rather than well. Fortunately, Wang Xiao has already prepared some mentally. Otherwise, based on this alone, it is estimated that he would be too scared to absorb this 100,000-year spirit ring. Hung long tilde 100,000-year spirit ring. It comes with a powerful aura. Every time it moves, the spirit power fluctuates more strongly. The Hung Long spirit power fluctuated and came on his face, making Wang Xiao deaf and painful in both ears. Suddenly, the 100,000-year spirit ring fluttered forward, then circled him, and then directly rose to the top of his head, pressing on it. Wang Xiao's heart trembled, and the spirit power of assaults the senses from his head was like an overwhelming force, and he was immediately overwhelmed with breath. Immediately afterwards, the bones of the whole body ga rang, unconsciously vibrated, rubbed, and made sounds. The teeth are also clenched together. Wang Xiao wants to open his mouth but can't open it. The teeth are about to be crushed. Really, this red spirit ring is under too much pressure. Wang Xiao said in his heart, this 100,000-year spirit ring is a 100,000-year spirit ring. It is really overbearing. Very overbearing. I hope that with 7 apertures exquisite heart as the backing I can successfully pass this level, and I will be the protagonist of Douluo continent in the future.